A lot of people talk about the new iPhone X, or we can call the new iPhone 10. Some people like the new generation of the new iPhone, and some people they feel so disappointed with the new iPhone 10, or we can call the new iPhone X. So okay, a lot of videos in YouTube talk about this thing. I think it's time to show you what people talk about the new iPhone 10. Okay, let's check it out together.
Hey everybody, it's Neil from The Verge. I'm here with the iPhone 10, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to say it straight out. This is the white version. It's got a glass back here. It's got a 5.8-inch OLED display. You can see the notch at the top. There's no home button, so you swipe up to close an app. When you're in an app, you swipe up and hold to go to the app switcher. You can just bang between apps there. Because there's swiping up from the bottom to open Control Center, you now swipe down from the right side for Control Center. You swipe down from the left side for the notifications tray. It is, I just can't say enough. It's a super beautiful phone. It's got a stainless steel band. It's got 12 megapixel dual cameras on the back. They're both stabilized now. This one is f1.8. The telephoto is f2.4. And on the front, you've got a depth tracking system in the front that enables Face ID, because there's no more Touch ID on the phone. You look at the phone, it projects 30,000 infrared dots on your face. It matches them against a map and a secure enclave on the phone and unlocks the phone. So the iPhone 10 also has new camera modes. The iPhone 8 actually has these camera modes too. The most important is called portrait lighting. So this poor gentleman from Apple, you can see I'm going to slide over to stage light. I'm going to shoot him. It's going to process, and you see, I'll show you the photo. It's blacked out the entire background. That's available on both the 10 and the 8, but these are new portrait lighting effects in the iPhone 10. iPhone 10 has no home button. It's got Face ID. It's not set up for my face. This gentleman from Apple, it's set up for his face. You can see he just looks at the phone and automatically unlocks. So he's going to look at the phone. Keep your eyes closed. He's going to look at the phone. It's still locked. Now, if he opens his eyes, it's going to unlock. That is pretty cool. That's Face ID. The other new thing is for Apple Pay. The side button is a lot bigger here. So to use Apple Pay, you just double click it, it'll open it. I'm gonna point it at this gentleman's face because that's his face. And now you just wave it at the reader for Apple Pay. I gotta say this unlock stuff is really cool, but also I've got this phone. If I just point it at this gentleman's face, I can unlock it. So obviously some security things to work through there for Apple, because if someone grabs your phone and they just point it at you, you probably want to keep your eyes closed all the time. The front camera also can do portrait mode now because of that depth tracking system. And they showed off a really cool demo of Snapchat doing really cool new filters in Snapchat. Let's try that out real quick. So there's my face. That's one of the new filters. You can see it looks way cooler than regular Snapchat filters. The iPhone 10 starts at $1,000 for the 64 gigabyte version. There's a 256 gigabyte version that's more expensive. Apple actually didn't announce the price on stage. You gotta look at it on the web for that. It is just an absolutely gorgeous phone. It's gonna come out in November. There's also the iPhone 8, which is a little bit cheaper. That's coming out a lot sooner. So that is a very, very quick look at the iPhone 10.
Wow, that's amazing. The new iPhone 10 camera is the beast.
Watch this dramatic video that I posted on Twitter, and then we'll talk about it. I don't know anything about user interface design, so maybe I'm completely off base here, but the new iPhone 10 just seems idiotic. Instead of pressing the bottom of the screen like a home button like we've done for the last 10 years, and like you still do on their other new phones, you have to swipe up. Swiping up on these phones and on every other phone gets you to Control Center. But on here, it takes you to the home screen. To go to Control Center, you got to swipe down from the top right. What? On this phone, swiping down from the top right takes you to the Notification Center, which you can only do from the top left. It just seems silly. For the last 10 years, they've told us this is a home button. This area is a home button. With the iPhone 7, look at this. This is a button, right? So it's not physically moving. It's pressure sensitive, but it still simulates a home button press. They have this wonderful 3D touch engine that they've had for the last several years that's better than everything on the market. Why not use this, your pressure-sensitive screen, to simulate a home button press? Just push that hard, and it takes you back to the home button. You can still swipe up for Control Center. You can still swipe down for notifications. You remain parity in your whole life. It doesn't make any sense. Based on the number of likes and retweets that this thing got, I'm not the only person thinking this. Now, let me clarify for those of you that are still a tad confused. I'm not suggesting that Apple should have gone with a virtual home button like a few sites had rumored for iPhone 10. That's ugly and it's a waste of space. No. Do you see that little nub that Apple put at the bottom of the iPhone 10 screen? I propose that when you 3D touch that area, it simulates a home button press. Basically, the Galaxy S8 implements this perfectly. I can still tap content at the very bottom of the screen, but as soon as I hard press, I go home. You don't lose any screen real estate and you don't mess with the tried and true formula of the home button. Honestly, when Apple moved to iPhone 7 and moved away from a physical clicking button, I thought this is where they were going. Trying to retrain people that have made a habit out of the home button for the last 10 years seems silly, especially when it's just for the sake of change. A tiny 3D touch home button area could have allowed everything to stay the same. One press, you go to the springboard. Two presses, you get to the multitask app switcher. And a long press takes you to Siri. Now, I'll explain why I think Apple's method is dumb for several reasons in just a second, but most people who tweeted at me to disagree said, do you really think Apple didn't try this? Do you really think they don't have focus groups? That was mean. I'm sure you didn't say it like that. I'm sure you're lovely people. I apologize. Of course Apple does. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. There are entire departments filled with dozens of people at Apple whose entire career is to study the apex between profit maximization and user experience. I mean, I'm just some college-aged numbskull with a YouTube channel. But don't think for a second that Apple is infallible or that they don't make mistakes or that they don't do stupid stuff for the sake of marketing. Do you remember the third generation iPod Shuffle? Yeah, the one with no buttons? In an attempt to make this sexy, tiny little music player.
I think this guy is so angry with Apple company right now because the iPhone home button, I think, is the point. It's a habit that we use this. But anyway, Apple, they released 3 models of iPhone. Actually, it is on your choice. You can choose 3 of them. If you love the home button, you should buy the iPhone 8 or iPhone 8 Plus. If you want to try the new generation of the Apple technology, you can buy or you can choose the iPhone X. It has 3 models, 3 choices for you to choose. Touch guy.
Hi, Stephen Finnick here at the Steve Jobs Theatre. We've just finished the event for the launch event for the iPhone X, the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus, but here is the star of the show. This is the iPhone 10. It's going to go on sale November the 3rd in Australia. Pre-order start October the 27th. 5.8 edge-to-edge screen. Looks fantastic. We're going to go through the features right now. Here we go. This is the iPhone 10. 5.8 inch OLED screen, so super retina display. Now, there's no home button, so it needs Face ID to unlock. There we go. Face ID from this up. As you can see, so getting to the home screen from an app is simply just sweeping up to the bottom of the device. So if we open up an app and then want to go back to the home screen, so there we are in a website. That's a great site. That's Tech Guide. That's my site. But if you want to go to the home screen, so home, sweep up, and you're back there. And there we go. So there's no physical home button. We are sweeping the bottom of the screen there, and then we're able to look through all of our apps as well. Now, our photos, there is a dual lens camera on the back. These 2 12-megapixel lenses with both have independent optical image stabilization, also have portrait mode, as does the front camera. The front camera also has portrait mode, so your selfies here look better than ever. So let's attempt a little selfie here with the front camera. Give this a try. There we go. So we can choose, there we are in portrait mode. And we can choose also the different types of lighting, so console lighting, studio lighting. And there we go, the photo's been taken. So now we can adjust the light levels, also adjust the blur, so the bokeh effect at the back, come up with all these different effects. And then when we're happy with the result, we simply save that. What about the emoji? So I've heard there's emojis that you can actually animate, and I'm going to attempt to do that right now. So the front-facing camera, which has the Face ID camera, so it recognises my face. But not only can it recognise my face, it can also animate my face through this emoji. So if you look closely here, you see the lips, the beaks of this chicken, and this alien can follow my expression. So if I frown, if I look surprised, and as I'm talking, it is actually following what I'm saying. So the lips are actually in sync with what I'm saying right here. And I can save that and send it as a message. And I have a lot of fun with it. There's all sorts of characters to choose from, rabbits and wolves and unicorns, the whole thing. There's also, of course, augmented reality on board the iPhone 10, and we are just going to play a game that will position the characters in the game and the world are going to be positioned on this table in front of us. So as we can see here, looking at that table, there's nothing there, but if we look at the front, we can see a character over there, and we can play the game, fight against our friends, have a multiplayer game, but all this is taking place through a music reality. So again, there's nothing on the table to hide it.
That is pretty cool. That is really cool. Cool. That's amazing.
This is a slow motion video. It's now capable of 240 frames per second. So that's super slow-mo for your videos. And of course you can do it full screen as well, as you can for all of your photos. So going back to the home screen now, sweep up on the screen. There we have it, the iPhone 10. It's going to go on pre-orders going to start October the 27th, but it then goes on sale November the 3rd. And full details are at techguide.com.au.
Wow, the technology on the iPhone X is amazing. You know, it's the beast. I can't believe that. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. This is the first video that I do the reaction video, so I'm not good in, and I will learn more and more from you. Please comment what I did wrong in this video, and yes, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and follow me on Instagram, like my page on Facebook. Thank you very much. Peace out.